Welcome back to the podcast, gang. In today's episode, we're going to talk about trading automation. So what you need to know before automating your trading strategy, and really two requirements that, well, I don't want to say you must have, but you probably should have if you want to do so. Dear Akil, I'm a forex trader for 2 years now, Euro dollar scalper, Bob Volum inspired. Since I'm inspired by your podcast and striving for a better life-work balance, I'm investigating automated trading. That would, in theory, free up some time to do other things or invest more time into study and training. I used to be a coder for a profession, so building all the functionalities in the MetaTrader 4 EA is no big deal. As a matter of fact, I have all this in place. The most important thing is, of course, implementing a valid and testable strategy in this framework. My current strategy for manual trading, Bob Volum style, more or less discretionary, only one indicator to 25 EMA, is hard to implement. This brings me to the question: which type of strategy do you think is most suitable for automated trading? Is it counter trading, counter trend trading, trend following, special pattern, or an other type? What would you guys say? I gave an answer, and I don't think it was, I guess let me, okay, there we go. That was, George says all of the above. And that was the same answer I gave George. So the main question that the trader is trying to get at is, what is the best style for automated trading? And the answer is, you're going to hate this. Boom, drum roll, please. It doesn't matter. And I know people hate when I give that answer, but I give truthful answers. It doesn't matter. The first thing I told the trader is this, right? There's two main things you want to focus if you're going to do an automated strategy, right? One, I still believe, and you may you may agree or disagree, and it's going to depend on your personality. I still believe that even if you're going to automate a strategy, it has to be something that fits your personality. Now, there could be big question marks around why. If it's automated, I'm not sitting there looking at it. Why does it matter if it fits my personality or not? All that should matter is it makes money, baby, right? That's the only thing that should matter. Well, the truth is this. And you guys know this, even if we're not there sitting, watching, stalking, right? Looking at a trade, guess what? It's still in our mind, is it not? It's still in our mind, right? You guys ever been in a trade, like a long-term swing trading trade, and like you're not around your charts, but you're thinking about it? You're sitting in your bed up at night and you're thinking about it, like, I wonder what it's doing. Did that Aussie news come out? Or you're out on a date with your partner and you're supposed to be having a good conversation at the dinner table, and you're sitting there just like, I wonder if euro dollar, right? We're thinking about it, and naturally we should. We should be thinking about it, right? When we think about how many people think about their investments, which are long term. Now that's something you can shut off and not care about, but a trade is shorter term, right? It's going to be on our mind, no matter what. So think about the stress that comes with trading something you believe in, trading something you trust, and it's still being your orders and money being out there in the open with nothing you can do about it. Think about how difficult that is. Now think about doing that with something you don't really believe in. So it's one thing to be up at night being like, man, I've been trading Gartley patterns for 12 years, and I got a bullish Gartley, and I know the numbers, but man, I'm still thinking about it. Think about that versus trading something like, hey, I got to trade on something. I don't really believe in this thing, but like it's on, right? So much harder, and we're so much more likely to make mistakes. So even if you're automating a trading strategy, I still think it has to be something that you trust. Because again, take it from someone who has traded systems before. It wasn't fully automated. It was level 2. But I've traded stuff before and I didn't trust it. But I was back in my younger trading days where I'm like, hey, all that matters is that it makes money, baby, right? And stressed myself out, eventually made mistakes and self-sabotaged. Because I couldn't deal with losers. I had the big question, why? Right? I didn't trust it. So every time it lost, it was like it cheated on me. And the trust never came back. I knew I should have. I knew I shouldn't have. Right? And it never came back 100%. And it haunted me and haunted me and haunted me. My mistakes kept getting worse and worse and worse. So even if you're going to automate something, rule number one is make it something you believe in. If you don't believe in trend trading, don't trade a trend trading system. If you don't believe in counter trend trading or structure trading, don't implement that system. Make it something you believe in first and foremost. Rule number two is it's got to be fully rules based. It's got to be fully rule based. So you can't expect you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be, hey, I want to be a discretionary trader and I want to have some room for freedom and interpretation, but automate it. No, if it's automated, it has to be 100% rules based because you have to code it. So there could be no gray area. Now, the dilemma that you have in this is, hey, I'll take Enigma, for example, right? The pattern recognition software that we have here at Tier 1 Trading, right? I tell traders all the time, like, hey, you can trade Enigma by just following what it gives you. So Enigma, you push the button, it shows you all the patterns that are live, right? Now, for me personally, I use Enigma as a tool, a helpful tool, right? I click the button, it brings it up, and I'm like, ooh, I missed that. Thank you, Enigma. But I don't agree with Enigma 100%. If Enigma shows me 100 patterns, I guaranteed I don't agree with all 100. But if you're going to be someone that says like you automated Enigma, right? Because Enigma is coded to pick out patterns, which is naturally something that is more discretionary, has more subjectivity to it because of the legs and whatnot, specifically the X leg, right? But I guess all legs, but the X leg is usually the main one. If you're going to be someone that says, hey, I'm going to blindly follow Enigma all the way, then you just have to be willing to accept that sacrifice, right? You have to say, hey, I know that I'm not going to agree with every signal, but I agree with the majority of the signals, and that's okay, right? I'm gonna take the benefits of the good outweighs the bad, and you've come to peace with that. That's gonna be something that you want to do, but I think the main thing the trader was looking for, because George, that was the exact, basically what I told you guys was the answer that I gave, and I think the trader really wanted the answer of, well, what type of strategy? Right? And the follow-up email said, what type of strategy is preferable, best to implement in an automated trading system? My best guess, and I know it's more your style than mine, a counter trend trading strategy with small stop loss / target profit bracket. But I was curious your opinion. And my answer is going to stay the same. It doesn't matter. Can you automate a counter trend trading strategy? Yes. If price action tests structure zone, then wait for double bottom. If price action gives double bottom, then enter next bar market. Stop loss, 1 ATR above highs of double top. Target profit, 382 Fibonacci retracement, or let's just say target profit, 2 ATR from entry if you want to automate something. Boom. Easily automated. Bang. Can we automate a trend continuation strategy? Yes. Right? Can you automate patterns, simple or advanced patterns? Yes. Perhaps a little bit harder, right? Because there's more subjectivity that goes into flag patterns and head and shoulders and whatnot. But certainly you can automate it, right? If we can create indicators that pick them out for us, then we can automate them because we can give them rules, especially if you're a coder, you know all this stuff, right? Same thing with advanced pattern formations. Can you automate strategies using indicators? Yes, those are going to be probably the simplest ones because there's going to be as little subjectivity as possible with a moving average cross or an indicator doing a certain thing. So the answer, it may not be the answer that you want to hear. I know you're probably looking for, tell me the answer. What is the best? Which one should I do? Truth of the matter is, you got to choose. You got to choose. But what I would start with is understanding, hey, what trading style fits my personality the best? Do I like counter trend trading? Do I like continuation trading? Do I like pattern trading? Which am I most comfortable with? Just as if you were picking a trading strategy if you weren't automating it. Or, hey, I like the Bob Vollmer inspired strategy, whatever that is, right? I'm comfortable with that. I like it. Okay. Well, what steps can you take to automate that strategy, right? Because if you're trading that strategy, I'm assuming that strategy has trading rules. If it has trading rules, we can code it out in if-then syntax. If this, then that. If this, then that. Now all you have to do is go through each of those rules and make sure there is no gray area in there. Make sure they're as direct as possible. And now you can automate the current strategy that you're trading. But there's no best. I'm sorry. Counter trend isn't better than continuation trading. Continuation trading isn't worse than pattern trading. Pattern trading isn't worse than indicator trading. There's no magic fix for the answer of what type is better. It's just like in trading. There is no best trading strategy. The only thing that exists is what's the best trading strategy for you personally. So hopefully that re-answers the question. It's usually a little bit easier to explain in when I'm speaking instead of just typing it out. But sometimes you just got to hear the answer twice to really get it, to really get past what you want to hear. Because sometimes we'll ask questions and we'll be like, I'll ask a question and I really expect this answer, and then you don't get that answer. You're like, huh, what? You're kind of caught off guard. I'm gonna ask it again. So it may not be the answer you want to hear, but it is the answer you need to hear. Today's episode was taken from one of our Monday morning Q&A sessions, which we host each and every week on the Tier 1 Trading platform. If you're serious about your journey to becoming a successful trader, I highly recommend checking the sessions out, or at least watching the recordings. These are the closest we can get to one-to-one training lessons as we take a small group in and we really dive into the topics that are most important to you. So head over to our website, www.tier1trading.com, sign up, and I'll see you in the next Q&A session.